Okay, I want to put numbers on these seats now. The complication here is that internally I'm numbering these things. That's 0, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and that's 1, that's 2, that's 3. Sorry, 0, 1, 2, 3. The way we normally number things is starting from 1, so that's going to be 1 just by coincidence, but this one here should also be 1, and that's 2, and that's 1, and that's 2, so there's no 0. And here, where we've got a whole bunch of free spaces, this first one here, that one should be 1. Okay, there's not really room to put numbers in there. I'm going to make everything a little bit bigger. So I go into the CSS, and we can see here the TD size has been specified by, I said 2x, let's double that. See if we can give ourselves a bit more space. So make it 4x and reload. I think there's enough space to put a number in there. I want to put a number just there, and the number in the middle here is going to be harder putting the number in there, but we'll try it. And also some of them are 2-digit numbers. That's going to be a 2-digit number. Perhaps I'll give myself some more space. Should we go to 6? Base 6. I want them to be roughly square still, because my images are roughly square. I don't have to be exact. Okay, that's perhaps bigger than I'd like it. What the heck, let's go for 5. 6 is too much, 4 is not enough. 5 has got to be the right number. I can even go to fractional x's if I want to. Right, so I want to put numbers in, and I'm going to put text into the TDs. I might have to resort to put in text inside a div and put the div inside the TD. I think I'll probably do that. Let's have a go. So I want to find the place where I'm creating the TDs. I could make this separate. I could have a TD each. So what I could do is this stage here, this nested loop, which doesn't look very big now, that's the thing that put all the TDs in. And I could, after that, have a call here. I can say $, that will find all the TDs, and I could say .each, and I could write a function that would fill TDs with numbers if I wanted to. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do it on the fly. So as I create these TDs, I'm going to put text in there. Let's just see that happening. So I can say TD text 42. So every seat is numbered 42 to start with. Let's just check that. Reload. There we go. Every seat is numbered 42. Numbers aren't very nice. I think I do want to put a div inside, and then I've got a lot of control over how I can place it. I can probably set the left and right properties here. So what to do. I know that working with CSS with TDs directly can be confusing. I'm prepared to risk it. Okay, for the sake of simplicity, let's see if we can find, here it is. Okay, so how do I want the text displayed? If it's a left sofa, I want it to be right aligned. If it's a right sofa, I want it to be left aligned. And if it is one of these guys, an armchair, I want the text to be centered. That's nice and symmetrical. Let's make up a rule for that. So if it is armchair with simple armchair, then I want text align. I'm not 100% certain that text align works on TDs. Text align is center spelt American. Let's see if that works. Reload. Yeah, but it's too big. Can you see that 42? It is in the center. Let's take the font size down. So, oh, now I'm confused. If I take the font size down, is that going to make, see, the font size I think is related to the X. So if I make the font size smaller, it will make the whole thing smaller. Let's do font size is XX small. Okay, now if that makes my sofas smaller as well, I'm going to be annoyed. Oh, it did. It made the sofa small as well. I guess it makes sense. It's because I've said the width is 5x and then I've said your x is really small. I'm not going to mess around with this. I am going to go with divs. So if that's an A with a div inside it, then I'll align center. And also I can say if I've got any kind of TD with a div inside it, then make the font size is going to be what I wanted, which is XX small. Okay, so this has kind of separate things out. The cost is that I've got to put a div inside each TD, but the good news is when I'm talking about X's here, I'm talking about normal X's. It's only inside the div inside the TD that they get to be XX small. Not sure if that rule should apply to the div or to the TD. I think it should be to the div. The div will stretch to fill the whole TD. And so if I've got a div inside an A, text align center, that'll work. But I do have to change my jQuery now, because instead of putting the text in directly, I have to add a div. So instead of setting the text, I'm going to td append a new div. Boom, boom. Okay. You want to be careful doing this kind of stuff, because people go mad and they have just way too much divs inside divs inside divs. But having a div inside a TD, that's not excessive. But just be warned, it can go crazy. Let's reload. Okay, that's what I want. So the TD size is now based on a normal sized X. The divs inside are tiny, XX small, like I said. I'd like them to be a little bit higher. So that's text align. Let's also, if we put in a bottom margin, I think that'll lift it up a bit. No, I'm not sure. I'm going to right click on this to inspect and see what's controlling the height of that. I think I can go for vertical line. So look at that div there and look at the computed style. That's not telling me anything useful. That's not telling me anything useful. I thought it would put the div at the bottom, but it seems to have placed that div right in the middle. Perhaps it's vertical line. I think to do vertical line, you put that on the TD. So if I say here, vertical align is top. So that should move the div to the top, probably too high. Reload. Yep, that's moved it to the top. But now I can use padding, or I can use a margin to bring it down again. So here, if I put in margin top, that should bring the div down a bit. Margin top, let's go for a fraction of an x. Let's try 1x. So that's 1x space between the top of that div and the TD it's in. Okay, that's not bad. I could perhaps bring it down a little bit. I quite like where that is. Okay, so this guy is being left aligned. This guy's being centered, so that one I don't want to change particularly. This one here on the left sofa, I want that to be right aligned. Okay, so that was my rule for an A. Let's yank and paste. If it is a left sofa, then I want the text align to be right. And although it was the default, it seems kind of neater to put in here. If it's a right sofa, then I want the text align to be left, even though it was like that already. Kind of add symmetry, reload. Okay, that's looking good. I think I'd like a little bit of a gap here, and I can put that in. So let's put in now put the margin on all of them, so they can all support a margin or have margins either side. So that's margin top. I want margin left and right as well. I don't think I've ever set so many margins. Margin left is going to be something really small, so let's go for 0.5 of an x, and we'll have the same margin on the right. Change word right. Okay, see how that looks. Reload. Yeah, that's perfect. Okay, numbering all the seats 42 is perhaps excessive. I want to number the seats sensibly. So that one there is 1, that one's 2, and nothing goes here. Let's look at the numbers I'm putting in. Okay, so I just put in 42. J looks like a good candidate. Let's just try putting in J. Okay, see what that looks like. Reload. And that's closer, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, that's working well. But this one here, 0, 1, I don't want that. Also, I don't want that 0 to show up there, and I don't want these numbers to show up. So I want to only display it sometimes, and also I want the numbering to be different. J was close to what I wanted, but the better way to do it is to have a seat number variable. Okay, so let's have a seat number variable, seat number. And I'm going to start that seat number out at 1, and that will get reset to 1 at the beginning of each row. Can you see I'm inside the I loop? So every time a row starts, the seat number will start out at 1 again. And I want to update the row, that number sometimes, but not others. But I want to do that after I've put it in. Where the heck am I? I'm in the wrong place. No, that's there. Where did I put the text in? Oh yeah, I put the div in. Text D row labels. I don't remember doing that. I thought I just put in J. Let me undo. Undo, 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 undo. Ah, there it is. Oh yes, okay. I got lost. That's a J. Okay, it's not a J, that's a seat number. And I want to start that in the I loop, didn't I, before the J loop starts? Getting lost, so that's var seat number equals 1. And text is seat number. And after I've done that, nope. Okay, so, all right, I only want to do that line if something happens. That's if it's a left or a right. So if, okay, so I only want to put the seat number in if it's a left sofa, a right sofa, or an armchair. Yeah. So I'm interested in this T map there. And really, if it's anything other than a space. Okay, so if it's a left or a right, then I'm going to put the seat number in. And I'm also going to update the seat number plus plus, so that'll update the seat number so the next one gets the right value. Let's write that out and see if that works. Lovely job. 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 14. Blanks aren't getting any numbers. The seats are in all the right places. I'm liking this a lot. I have 3 seats booked, so the next thing I'm going to do is come back to this guy, and I want to update a list and a price list. So yeah, we'll see that in the next video.